Yo, what's up, everybody? Do hello, man, or hello, man. Did you expect this? Yeah. Um, I made a theory about it a long time ago, 7 months ago, that this would happen. That Julius would be not only related to the Time Devil, but also the fourth Zogratis or Zogratis. So yeah, no, I definitely saw it coming. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty excited that I got that right. Yeah, I'm live. So yeah, I just want to talk to you guys about the Julius Zogratis, or I guess now, because I've been calling him Julius Zogratis for months now, but I guess now it's probably Lucius Zogratis. This really happened in the manga. Wow, yeah, man. Official chapter was live this morning, so yeah, it's definitely for real. Hey, what's good, Ellie? Congratulations, thanks. Yeah, so I wanted to stream because I haven't been uploading as much, guys. I've been super busy. You know, I'm moving. I've been working full time personal training. I'm, writing, doing so much, and YouTube's kind of just become the last thing. And also just kind of changed my upload style. I want to upload more like longer, in depth videos. So, yeah. But I am going to be uploading a video this week, a theory based on chapter 331 with all the additional information that chapter gave us. I have a very big theory for what's going to be happening very soon. I guess it's not that soon because we got to wait 3 months, but we got to let Tabata rest and fully finish out this manga, which is probably still going to remain my favorite of all time after the final arc because I don't see him really fumbling. Glad to hear your voice again. Been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. It's been I uploaded a bit over 2 weeks ago. I put that video unlisted though, just because it was definitely going to screw me with the algorithm because I knew that it was not going to get viewed because it was an update video. But is Damnatio dead? No, I don't think he's dead, man. Because if you actually look at the chapter, his grimoire is still there. And while it wasn't in the officials, when Lucius taps Damnatio, it just says pause, which means he just paused Damnatio. So I think that Damnatio is going to be fine. In fact, I think he's going to be one that's going to relay the information to everybody once he gets up. Or he's going to be frozen in time. Asta's going to put his sword on him, and then that's going to break him out of the time. And then he's going to reveal it to everyone. So yeah, I just cannot wait to see Asta, Noel's reaction, especially Yami's and even William's reaction to what just happened. Maybe even Mark's as well. Black Clover Next Generations. Honestly, I don't necessarily want a series where it's Black Clover Next Generations. Unless if it's something like Four Nights of the Apocalypse with Seven Deadly Sins, where the main character is not necessarily related to the big heroes of the original series. Like if we had maybe Asta, Noel's kid, and Charmy's kid, and they're side characters to the main character in a sequel series, I wouldn't mind it, but I'd still almost prefer it to be something way further in the future. Oh, Don. Dude, I don't even know how to pronounce your name. I'm calling you Don Q. But thanks for the $2 super chat, man. Appreciate that. So does that mean Julius is above everyone in the kingdom? I would have to say that Julius, if you're talking about power scaling, this definitely adds a lot more context to Julius versus Patri. And that means that, yeah, he was holding back, which was the only viable theory for Julius to be still strong in the series, was that he was forced to hold back. Not just hold back his killing skill, but hold back everything, because he knew what this needed to happen for everything else to happen. So, but based on Lucius being a member of the Dark Triad and being with Osteroth, and according to what's going to happen in my theory coming out this week, he's probably going to be able to pull out way more power from Osteroth than the other Dark Triad. So yeah, he's probably going to be way stronger than everybody else. I mean, he doesn't really have many feats right now. I mean, in his base, he could one-shot Damnatio, but Damnatio is not even really top tier. But yeah, he's probably going to be really strong. Is Lucius Grimoire a 5th clover or a 4th clover? Well, it looks like it's a double spade, and one of the spades is upside down, which has a very important symbolism to what's going to be tied into my theory coming out. I need to sleep, and now you're going to make a talking stream. Yeah, and I'll keep it unlisted, though, so if you follow me on Twitter, you can follow the link to watch it unlisted, but this stream's probably not going to stay live on my channel after. But I'm also going to be streaming again this weekend, so somebody on Twitter gave me a link to do a tier list for the entire Spade Saga, and that's for power scaling, so I'm going to do that, and it's going to be probably a really long stream. It'll be fun, but Julius is just going to get chopped up in half like Lucifer. Are you talking about like Lucius? I don't think so. Like, he's probably gonna have way more stuff and hacks power, and he actually has a grimoire compared to Lucifero, and he has Astaroth, who is probably a very similar power to Lucifero, but and the time hacks is gonna be nuts. But you think that Lucius and Julius are different souls? I will be going in depth in this in my video this week about what I think, and I think it's just multiple possibilities. There's just no way that we can really say right now. Souls, though, maybe not, because grimoires are tied to souls, and unless if they can, have the same soul and it transforms. Because when we had Pottery and William, they had different souls, but different souls, different grimoires. But then again, with the elves, they could all use the grimoires of their counterparts, the human counterparts, even though they were not technically the same. They just were on the same wavelengths. So I think it could be different souls. I think it could be some sort of mind manipulation or something like that. Or if he's a soul, it's an artificial soul. Or a split personality, yeah. Do you think that statement about Noel and Julius is still valid? I saw this going on the Twitter timeline. I think it's talking about like Noel being equal in potential to Julius. And I think, yes. I think that we know for a fact that the bot has been planning this plot twist with Julius ever since the beginning. And if he's talking about Julius's potential, then it probably would have to mean that he's talking about that he's talking about like possibly a actual like Lucius level of power or Time Devil level of power. And this is backed up by the theory I made, which is still heavily supported but not yet confirmed, that Noel is a demigoddess. Not gonna lie, this really hurt me. Julius is my second favorite character behind Asta. I mean, he is a great character, and honestly, he probably still is a character separate from Lucius, depending on what exactly it's going to be. But as a German fan from you, I must say it's sometimes really bad with your video upload time. Yeah, it's time zones, man, so that can suck. Power scaling wise, are they still countries? Has multi-continental attack potency in your opinion? I mean, I don't know who you're talking about. I'd say yeah, Black Clover is definitely at least country level. And in probably a month now, I'll be releasing the Devil Union Asta power scale, and you'll kind of see what I really think from there. But honestly, I think that this arc, though, is going to reveal like way higher power scaling with like time hacks and stuff like that. It's going to be even crazier for Black Clover. Yeah, Noel, daughter of a god. You can check my theory on that on my channel. That she's the daughter of the sea god. That would be one way how they can, stop Lucius. I think that that's probably what might have to happen, is we actually finally get the Light Triad all teaming up in all of their full power. And so it'd be like Noel, Saint Valkyrie with like Sea Goddess power, who's mastered to star magic, and then Asta, who's in true Devil Union, all fighting Lucius. The symbol on his grimoire is a spade, diamond, clover, and heart. Yeah, you can make out that symbol from all of it, but technically it is 2 spades. But you can make out all the symbol from it, so I think it is a double entendre. Sup, Swad? I haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing well. What do you reckon Lucius is going to do with Lucifero's heart? So I talk about this in my theory video coming up, but I guess I can talk about it because I'll give you a little teaser. But I think that it's a double thing. I think that half the heart will be used, or at least half its power will be used, so that Lucius can make undying bodies for all of humanity. The other half, and this is how he got like a Dromlek to help him, is that a Dromlek will consume or do something with the other half the heart. Maybe he'll have 1.5 hearts in his body, and that'll make him strong enough to become the ruler of the underworld. Would you make a Clover Squad versus Gote from Bleach video? I definitely want to do that. That's probably the plan after I finish, because one of my upcoming video projects, it's super long. It's like a 40-minute audio recording, and I've done some of the editing, but it's going to be, a long time till that's out. But that is a collaboration with Spinner, where it is Pain versus the Black Bulls. So that is already like a scripted and recorded video that just needs to be edited. And then probably after that, I would love to do Bleach versus Black Clover, because I read Bleach over the summer, and it became one of my favorite series of all time. And it's one of those series where it's like, it's so good that I really want to read it again at some point, and probably watch the anime and all like the filler and movies as well at some point. Yeah, he was handicapped in the past. Yeah, I think that it might be that Julius actually died, and that's what was the cause. Because it did say that some people would need to die to get their undying bodies. So I'm reading, this is from Bloody Tornado. From Kiro, do you think the rest of the Cliff-Off Devils will play a part of this? Yes, I think they'll have a role. I think it'll be like Lucius is the main one. It might even be some sort of a civil war. Like, you might have some Supreme Devils or Cliff-Off Devils working with Clover or humanity. Yeah, I think so. Ivan, I just read that. I think that there's gonna be some sort of ritualistic play here with the Dark Triad and Lucius, or if it's like maybe like mind or soul or brain magic that would pair with body flesh. Or I guess it is body magic, not just flesh, and then blood and bone, and make some sort of body. Do I think that Lucifero's gravity was a direct counter to time, and that's why Asta was required to defeat him? That very possibly could be, because in real life physics, gravity actually manipulates time. Actually, it manipulates time-space. And if, like, Lucifero has more mana and has, like, something that can manipulate time, then that's probably why Lucifero needed to be defeated. Maku, yeah, I did read the Bleach Hell chapter. I thought that was really good. Yeah, what's up, Wizard King Minato? Still can't believe all the stuff that's going on, and I can't believe we gotta wait 3 months to see all the reactions in the series to, like, all the characters. Oh, it's gonna be nuts. And Kazar, what I think that Lucius' true magic is, I think it's multiple possibilities. It's soul, mind, brain, maybe some sort of transformation magic, but yeah, this chapter was insane. And it's so funny. I just want to take a break to talk about, like, all the what I think is going to happen. It's so funny that the last few chapters, people just hated, but not people. I guess of most of the people who hated and talked shit about Black Clover on Twitter in the last few chapters was people who don't even read the series. I got so many tweets or comments from people who just made, like, stuff, like, they misquoted stuff or stated stuff that you could only really say that if you weren't actually reading the series. And it's so funny now, those people are now saying that this was so predictable. And it's funny because I made this theory and people were calling it so dumb and it's not going to happen and it makes no sense. And then now all of a sudden it's happened and people are saying, oh, this was predictable. So it's just funny, the kind of dynamic in the community between people who hate the series as well. Is Lucius Asta's father? I don't think so. I don't think Lucius is Asta's father. I'll talk about that as a possibility in my theory video this week, though. Jacko, it's IDK, man. Black Clover is pretty mid. This is so funny because Jack talks about that a lot in tweets and stuff about how people talk shit about Black Clover, even though Jack is the one who knows Tabata's wisdom. What do you think Leopold's ultimate magic is going to be? I don't know, man. We might not even see it at this rate. Ugh. But one thing I wanted to bring up to you guys, and this is what I kind of brought about in my theory that's coming out this week, is this also kind of confirms one of my theories. It doesn't directly confirm it, but it really adds so much evidence to it. I'm just going to say it's pretty much confirmed. But I made a theory that the Dark Triad were sent forward in time, as well as the Dark Disciples, because you have it in their bio page that none of them have ages. None of them have any ages, which is weird. And then we get the Dark Disciples age, and I think it was Goderoy and Foil are both like 25, even though they attacked the Spade Kingdom 17 years ago and were full-grown adults in the flashback. And if they're only 25, they should have been 8 or like 9 years old in that flashback, but they're full-grown adults, which means that they were probably 25 then and got sent forward in time by Lucius. And this also applies for the Dark Triad, especially like Zenon and Vanica, because we know that right after Alan dies, Zenon goes to Lucius, wants to become a devil host, and then we don't know how much time passes, the Dark Triad takes over the Spade Kingdom, and then what do we see in chapter 231? Dante is like, Zenon, are you used to your devil power yet? Even though Zenon should have had that devil for 17 years. It doesn't really make sense unless if Zenon was sent forward in time. And also, with Vonica got Magicula, and essentially right away could use a very high level of devil power. We see her when she fights Ossier, that she doesn't have, it's like less than her 50% from when we see it when she uses it against Olapechka and Noel in the Heart Kingdom, but it's probably like 40%. And do we really think that it took her 16 and a half years or 17 and a half years to get to 70%? It's probably not. So when you add all that together with the fourth Triad, Lucius having time magic, it has to be that the Dark Triad were sent forward in time. So that is also a huge topic I'm talking about in my video, which also adds so much more evidence to my theory that Asta was sent forward in time when he was a baby. When Lucita dropped him off the church, he was sent forward in time. But I'm not going to say more on that because I think that there's a very different play to that than what you might think just from hearing that. So yeah, it's very interesting that it has to be that the Dark Triad was sent forward in time. There's just no reason to like not have their ages. It makes no sense for any of the power scaling for... I'll even pull up... I know it's chapter 231, but I will kind of go over the official... what they officially said in that chapter. So it says... So it pans to the Spade Kingdom and it says, "Well, are you used to using the devil's power now, Zenon?" He says, "Yes, for the most part." This is supposed to be 16 to 17 years after he already has a devil. So this makes no sense unless if Zenon got his devil, took over the Spade Kingdom 17 years ago, and then was sent forward in time, and then his training with the devil, his only training with Beelzebub's power, was his attack on the Diamond Kingdom. So that's that. And also he says, haha, you've also improved greatly in a half-year Vanica. So that means she somehow went from like 40% to 70% in 6 months. It makes no sense unless if they were sent forward in time, especially with the Dark Disciples being in the flashback and all that. So that is a huge thing that I've seen nobody else really talk about ever since the reveal, is that the Dark Triad were very likely sent forward in time. At least Zenon and Vanica. Maybe Dante stayed behind, but yeah. What's your predictions for characters that are going to die? I still think that Asta is going to die. That's another important topic in this theory that's coming out this week about Asta's death. I don't want to get into too much because I think it'll be much better to have it with actually, a scripted voice with editing in the background. Lucius has soul magic. His grimoire has all 4 symbols with soul magic. He can have multiple grimoires and also create a Julius. That's not a bad theory, honestly. Hey Broku, do you think Asta's birth was planned by Astaroth and Lucius to kill Lucifero? I think that Asta has there's a plan for Asta, but I don't think it's that. I'm watching your other videos and people are giving Broku credit. Really? That's cool. Well, that can make sense whether it got sent forward in time. Yeah, I definitely think the Dark Triad were, but I also think that Asta was. And I'll be talking about how Lucius and this whole chapter adds so much more evidence to that. Any big theories? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm working on I don't know if you guys watch One Piece, but Ohara, and I don't watch it either. Well, I've read the first 330 chapters, but I saw that Ohara, broke the internet making a One Piece theory. And it was called, the best One Piece theory you ever heard of. And I'm like, shit, I want to do that for Black Clover. So this summer, a few days after that video came out, I was like, I'm going to do that too. And so that's what my huge, theory project is going to be next, is essentially the best Black Clover theory, which this theory that I'm posting this week is a part of that. A bunch of my other theories are kind of, all strung together because they kind of fit together. And then also just a bunch of more demonology, mythology that I've researched as well as adding to that. How come I'm never in Discord? I'm never in Discord because I have a day job and then I work out every other day. Sometimes, actually, I do cardio every day and I lift 5-6 days a week. So it's more than that. I write over 1,000 words a day for my story that's published on Mithril. And then I'm also editing my story right now that I'm going to try and get published. So I have a lot that I'm doing. That's why I'm not on Discord. It's kind of my least important thing. But if there's ever a time where I'm less busy, I would love to be on it again. Do you think Zenon is above Dante since he has Beelzebub as a demon host? Devil Zenon clears Dante. So, I mean, I don't know. The 100% they should be pretty comparable, but Devil Zenon is way above. Asta's Astaroth's kid. That's why he's named after him, maybe. Do I feel like the clock theory is a big chance of being true? I think it's definitely more likely than not. It's not confirmed yet, but it does seem like that Tabata, by putting the panel of the clocks and how many panels of clocks were in the saga, that is definitely something he was trying to get around. Now, what that exactly was doing was, we don't know, but it's crazy because this would actually, if that is true, if the theory is true that either Lucius was stopping time, or if he kept, like, if he had stopped time and that's why the clock wasn't moving, then that means like every single character that was in this saga and moved has inaccessible speed, which is nuts. But it's probably not that. It's probably more like he was just resetting time in the theory. So, I mean, that just shows how crazy Lucius is, because he was doing this like in Julius's body, probably way nerfed than what his full power is. What is your story? And we can read it. Yeah. I'll plug my my story. So what you want to do is it's on the Apple Store or the Android App Store, and let's look up the app Mithril. And my story is called Hester's Last Case on that app. So you can definitely go read it. The first 13 chapters are free, I believe. So if you guys want to really help support me and help support that story, then go download the Mithril app, and my story is called Hester's Last Case. Do you think that Xenon was above Lilith and Nama? Devil Xenon is way above Lilith and Nama. Actually, I fully believe, like, I'm about to trip. I was standing on one leg, and I just almost fell over. My legs are tired. I had a leg day. But anyways, besides that blunder, I've been doing a lot of power scaling. Making the Asta versus video, and making the Devil Union Asta power scale. And Devil Xenon is actually not only above Lilith and Nama, but he is clear above Megicula. The Megicula that we saw, at least, in terms of power. So yeah, like, if Saint fought Lilith or Nama, he would just clap. If he fought Megicula, he would also clap. Return, how long have you been working out like that? I've been working out a lot. Since January, because basically all of 2021 I threw my back out and I was in physical therapy, so I barely got to work out last year. Almost all my workouts were just physical therapy to like help my body get back in, not back in shape, but back to usability. Question: do you think Dante's gravity singularity makes him planetary, seeing as it works as a real singularity? I don't know, man. That type of shit, or not that type of shit, that type of scaling is hard. If you believe that it's a real singularity, then it would have to be planetary. But I think we need maybe a bit more evidence for that. And then Sly Rebel, do you think that Current Luck could beat Zogred? Current Luck would absolutely curb stomp Zogred, yes. Like, you have to remember, he blew apart Megicula, who dwarfs 100% Vonica, who base Vonica, like, likely is as strong, if not stronger, than Zagrid. Xenon's the best Triad member. I think, like, pretty much all of the fandom agrees that. What's the most you can do in bench press? So the most I ever could do, Joe, when I was in college and, like, playing football, I got to the point where I could do 2 reps of 415 pounds. And now I don't train for strength. I train only purely for stability or hypertrophy or endurance. So I always do heavier reps, or I mean more reps, lighter weight. And then I do dumbbells. So right now I'm losing strength because I'm cutting weight, but like 2 months ago, I could put on a 115-pound dumbbell, a 115-pound dumbbell in each hand, and do 12 reps on the incline bench press. So it's like a 230-pound dumbbell incline press for 12 reps. Shinra got stronger. You can update that video. Honestly, maybe. Don't listen to that. I would need to get caught on Fire Force. I'm probably. I know it ended, but I don't remember where I left off. It was sometime after they showed like real life images in the manga. Could their ages have been screwed by Lucius? I think that's possible, Eli. What do you think Asta's role is for Lucius? I think Asta's role for Lucius was to defeat Lucifero. Asta's role for somebody or something else, you'll find out in my video this week. You think Devil is in on Neg's fusion Lilith? I think he would definitely clap. Megicula is definitely stronger than Lilith and Nama. How much was I able to hang clean? I never did hang cleans. I did power cleans, and honestly, I was not very good at them compared to my other lifts when I did football. Because our form was terrible, because our coaches in high school did not teach us how to do it properly. I think my highest ever for a power clean was 305 when I was like 18. And I have not done power clean since. Yeah, blood, body, bone, mind, or soul. I think that's definitely the very likely you're going for the Dark Triad. Where's Noel's dad, man? I think Noel's dad is the sea god, honestly. I think that's where it's going. I just like that theory so much. A separate personality. Yeah, I think that's possible. I'm doing high school football for the first time. Lifting is killing me. Just stick with it. Get your protein and water in, and your food. I think we'll see the Earth Spirit this arc. There's no way that Tabata finishes Black Clover without showing the Earth Spirit return. I think that he's just been saving that. I wonder if it's that final Diamond General we haven't seen yet, and he has it. So... So, can you explain the clock in Black Clover? Well, the clock theory is that as the arc was progressing, the time on the clock was not. This was shown as like a highlight in the latest chapter that the clock, the actual hand on the clock was struggling to move forward. So the theory is that our heroes died many times against Lucifero, and then Lucius kept reverting time until it got to the point where they actually defeated Lucifero. That's the clock theory, essentially. So Julius was a pawn put in place. Yeah, pretty much. I think it was a pawn with his own sentience, though. I do think that gods and angels exist, Cairo, in the Black Clover world. And I think that, at the very least, we will get some god stuff. Maybe even a pseudo-angel in this final saga. Lee, you keep saying that Zenon is gone, but you have to remember that the part of the Undying Body's plan from Lucius is that people have to die so they can come back. So that it's still very possible for Zenon to come back. So, Jewel, do I think Megicula is returning? What roles is Lucifuge's going to play? That is very hard to say. If you had asked me a long time ago, I definitely thought Megicula was returning. It really depends on how long this arc is. If this arc is only 100 to 150 chapters long, I don't know if Megicula is going to come back in a big role. If this final saga is 300 chapters long, I definitely think that she will. As for Lucifugus, I think that he will have a tie to Noct and Yami teaming up and defeating, and maybe Yami's devil heart and his body will have to do with Lucifugus. How does one beat time magic? LMAO. Anti-magic and fate magic seems like a pretty good combo in my opinion. I think Julius, Chik Sad Bu Sao, it's kind of unbelievable how Julius kept his character and he generally seemed like a good person. It's because I think that Julius is a split personality. He's like an actual, that's an actual thing. Like he's an actual character that was created and he is good. Because when Damnatio was calling him out, he's like, wait, Damnatio. And it was something like he wanted Damnatio to do something, and then Lucius came out. So Julius is good. He was just a pawn. Yeah, I want to see what Marx is going to be up to. That'll definitely be super interesting. I think there will be deaths this arc, honestly. I think Tabata was saving a lot of deaths for this arc. The final saga coming up. Oh, okay, I get what you mean, Lee, then. Yeah. He's definitely gone. Can the time magic rewind the healing and the fates? Now, that depends on how Tabata wants to do it, because, like, we really don't know, like, in our world, like, in our, like, physics of, like, our reality, like, you and I's, like, we don't really know how fate and time would actually work, because fate's just a concept. But in, like, for example, like, I believe it was Plato, he talked about how fate as a concept actually surpasses the concept of time. So, I mean, it depends on if Tabata wants to go that way, where, like, fate's actually above time. So, it could be... I really don't know. There's so many ways they could counter it. I mean, anti-magic, like, Asta, if he did an anti-ma on his own. If they found, like, a different gravity mage who could distort time. And then fate manipulation. I think that'd be really good. Maybe even Dorothy's Glamour World as well. Hell, get Raya to somehow touch Lucius's Grimoire, and if he can copy both, like, the Time Devil ability and Lucius' ability, and then amp up Raya somehow. Yeah, what the fuck, this is crazy. How would you ballpark the strength of the verse now? I'll just say that at a low ball, like, Asta is, like, multi-continental level. Yeah, I know, man. Jesse Rojas, the fact we gotta wait 3 months is killing me. It's gonna kill me, too. I'm gonna get caught up on other manga. I'm actually gonna reread Black Clover so that I can make, like, the best... I'm really honestly trying to make the best Black Clover theory video ever. And I think that deserves another reread with all the new context of Julius and Lucius in the background. I think Julius knew, but it was like a subconscious thing. And it was repressed, and maybe he only remembered it once Damnatio brought it up. Isn't gravity above everything? Kind of, yeah. Gravity, in terms of our world, it holds, like, the entire universal space-time together, so... Rax, what's up, man? The black sun is one of the signs of apocalypse and the rapture. Yeah, I saw you tweet about that, because I tried to look it up, and the only thing I can find is, like, Nazi shit. So, probably shouldn't even said that word. I'm probably going to get this video copyright struck. But anyways. Yo, Julius killed Zara. I don't think he actually did. Because I still think Julius is a good guy that is a split personality created by Lucius. Like, he is actually a different personality. Kind of like if you're watching Moon Knight, how there's the split personality there. Like, what is it, Steven and Mark? They're different people. Like, they're just different. That's what I think Julius and Lucius are. Like, Julius is good. And he wanted to do this for the entire kingdom. But Lucius is not. And he was, like, pulling his strings. Adriel Blake, $5 super chat. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. I haven't streamed in a while. And it's glad talking to you guys. Especially since I'm not uploading as much. Tyler Jordan, Witch Queen debunk the devil hybrid theory. This is what I get so much, and whenever I talk about Asta being devil hybrid, and that's just not the case. Hybrid theory in Black Clover is that if you're the only case you really see of a devil hybrid is Charmy, and she's a human dwarf hybrid, and when we see her, she's in her human form. When she gets activated into her hybrid form, that's when her mana changes to dwarven mana. That's when her body changes. That's when her grimoire changes, which means her soul is changing. So, the Witch Queen only feels base Asta's blood. There's no way she can determine that he is a devil hybrid from that. He would need to be in his hybrid state for her to ever see if he's actually a devil. Julius backstory spent, I thought that'd be cool. Yeah, Rax, I saw you send it to me, or you said you were going to send it to me on Twitter. I'll definitely look, or is it Discord? I don't know, but thanks, man. That would be cool to look into. It'd be cool to have Seal be pretty important, too, like the red blood moon or whatever you're saying. Alright, so Vassals, I think you've been keep putting this in here, so I'll read it. Do I think that Lucius's original magic is soul or mind magic? I mean, Dante's OG magic is body magic, Monica blood's in on bone, so will Lucius have mind or soul? I think it's mind or soul, I just don't know which one. Do I think Xenon is returning since Beelzebub has a contract? I think Xenon will return. Nazi versus Luffy reaction video on Monday. I will hold together my sanity. Is that like a death battle that's happening? Because that'd be hilarious. I'll probably have to watch your reaction to that then, Rax. What's funny, Rax, is I was actually researching Astaroth and Demonology today, and one of his like lead like heralds, his name is Rax, and it made me think of you. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, so like that's what I'm like. It definitely like I'm not saying that Asta has to be a double hybrid, but like I think it's still very likely, and that the Witch's Queen point just doesn't like it just isn't enough to like debunk the theory. It definitely can be used as a point, but Ragnarok is coming. Black Odor. I do believe this is the Ragnarok arc. Which that we talked about in my big Black Clover theory video. That's, guys, it's probably at the bare minimum, if I cut everything out, it'll probably be 45 minutes long. And if I really make it in depth, it'll probably be over an hour. So I might have to make two 45-minute parts of this theory. But some OP stan is making the video Luffy at his current peak is like base Natsu level. Yeah, I know that Natsu is just, or Fairy Tail's just way stronger than I thought. Rax, I know that Fairy Tail is just broken, and One Piece is, I know it's strong, I don't think it compares to Fairy Tail. So is Julius the father? I don't think Julius is the father of Asta, no. Unless, I guess you'll find out my theory, because there is a play on that. Thanks, Joshua. Hope you have a good day, too. People saying that Lucifero is stronger than Ishiki. Do you agree? I don't. So, I'll be talking about Lucifero scaling a bit in my Devil Union video. I don't know how strong Ishiki is, but yes, an average Persona fanboy, I do believe we will get to find out who Asta's father is. What do you think Tabata will create a sequel? I think it'll be a spin-off or a sequel or both, where it's in the same world, but it's not necessarily connected that much to the Black Clover world. Yuha, or is it Yuha Bach? Or Ba? I don't know how to pronounce it. From Bleach is Strong. Yeah, he is. I know. He was nuts when I read it. The three Triad are going to be born with their undead body. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen. Unless, especially if they're actually, you know, dead. Naruto-verse, physically stronger than Black Clover. Black Clover's way better hacks and way better speed feats. Yeah, the Cocoon Theory. I think that MHB, yeah, that's definitely going to come back into play. You can call me Av, or Av, AV, I don't know. I'll try to remember that. Have you read, I've seen the first 12 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, Tristan. It is okay. People keep telling me to finish, but we'll see. The art on the video, Diamond, is made by Arto de Barro. I commissioned him for this thumbnail, for this art, which will also be a part of the art that's in the theory video coming this week. Julius can see the future, yeah. We already know he can. Yami like confirmed that his predictions are pretty good, like a long time ago. If Dante returns, he definitely will not be at full power, but I mean, depends on how much an undying body amp would be as well. Oh, I would love a Yami prequel series. Quartet Knights is well, I guess it's not really kind of, but we get a young Yami in that series. Do I think the Black Clover is really over? I mean, they announced it's the final arc, or final saga, final chapter, final part. Do I think that there's going to be more stories in the Black Clover world? Yes, but I think it's the end of the Black Clover, or Black Clover, like the stories that we know, the characters we know. It'll be a spin-off if we get anything else. I would love a continuation, but... yeah, Julius saying Asta will die. It wasn't a prediction, but it was a straight-up threat. Last saga or last arc. It's definitely... Nah, Yoha, last saga or last... That's a good point, because that's actually really debatable right now. There's people debating that. Like, is this the last arc, or is this the last saga? If it's the last arc, we only have, like, maybe a year left of Black Clover. If it's the last saga or part, we'll probably have several years, so it can be either, but I do think it's probably going to be a saga or a part. Because Tabata wanted Black Clover to be 3 parts. The Elf Saga, the Spade Saga, and that's done. And even if we assume that this is just as short as the Spade Saga, that means we get 100 more chapters, which is 2 more years of Black Clover. Julius says Astaroth, and probably him being the Wizard King satisfied him in a way, because he could never get the throne from Lucifer. That's funny, because that's actually very similar to what I'm going to be saying in my theory video that's coming out this week. Not quite the same, but something similar to that. And my computer froze, so I do not see chat right now. Well, my stream is still going. I just cannot see chat. Let's see if I pull up my phone. Can I still see the stream? This is what I get for just streaming out of nowhere. Oh. So I can see chat on my phone. My computer just froze. Oh. It's probably because I have like 40 browsers open. I know, eyes are real, like years are around 50. That's why I think that if it's 100 chapters, it'll be like 2 years. But I really think that it's probably gonna be like 150 chapters, the final saga. So we'll get like a bit over 3 years. So that's still a lot of Black Clover left. Do you think Swallowtail will come back since Julius used it for revival? I think that could have been a lie, but I think maybe. Last act, not last arc in the Spanish translation. I really hope we get a sequel. I agree, Shelly. I would love a sequel of Black Clover. I would love it. I mean, Black Clover is my favorite manga of all time. So, of course, I wanted to continue. But I also don't want it to go longer than Tabata wants it to. So if he wants this to be the final saga, and that's probably good for the best. Broku, have a good night or good day wherever you are. Thanks, Epsilon. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's 4:03 p.m. for me, so. Yeah, thanks, Huggy. Yeah, I got a lot of hate for that theory, but it's right, and now I'm getting a lot of love, so it kind of goes both ways. The pendulum swings. Lucius Fuges is said to have dark magic, and now we know Yami has a devil heart. Yeah, I think that is the connection there, is Lucius Fuges and Yami, which is going to be interesting because of Noct and his connection to Yami and Lucius Fuges. So, it could be pretty bad, but also really cool. Is the anime going to continue? I definitely think so. Just probably not till the movie is out. If Lucifero was said to be so powerful he breaks even fate, then how were Astaroth and Lucius able to set circumstances to weaken him in a way that he was defeated in embarrassing fashion? Any ideas? I think it's because Asta himself is also a counter against fate. And he has changed the cycle of whatever this Ragnarok cycle, whatever it is. And because of that, it's an unforeseen circumstance. And because of that, Lucifer was able to be overthrown. Broku, you are not reading my messages that I've resent the same one for more than 10 times. Okay, we'll send it again, and I'll try and get to it. There's a lot of people commenting right now, man. If you want, you can super chat it, and I'll definitely read it. But like a super chat's going to guarantee I read and talk about it. But I'm trying to get as many people on here as we can. Any guesses on what Dramalek's magic is, Steve Irwin? I still believe it's going to be some sort of illusory magic. Because Dramalek is on the same gate as Dorothy was on the Tree of Life, on the Sephiroth, and so they might have a connective magic there. What are my fave FV characters, Broku? What is FV? I don't know why I can't think what that is on top of my head. What war arc was stronger, Shibuya Incident or Spade Invasion? I love Shibuya, but I honestly think that Black Clover is better. The Spade Invasion, specifically. I think Lucifero will return in some capacity, but I don't think he'll be like the main villain. Wait, what? You think Julius wants with Yuno? Do you think Yuno is the key to checking Asta with his star magic? See, that is something very interesting that is also going to be talked about in the theory. I guess I'll just kind of talk about it, that I think it's possible that Asta was a part of Lucius's plan to kill Lucifero, and Yuno was a part of Lucius's plan to kill Asta, because they didn't need Asta dead, so he doesn't intervene in their plans. So, yeah, that is a dark possible fate for what might happen in this arc, is that Lucius helped get Asta stronger so they could take down Lucifero. He also helped make Yuno stronger so he could possibly take down Asta. Now, you might think that, True Devil Union Asta dwarfs Yuno's power. That is true, but Yuno is also nerfed in the entire Lucifero fight because he cannot activate his full stage because he is not fully recovered. On top of that, Yuno can still use True Magic, Ultimate Magic, and his Magic Stone to overcompensate for a True Devil Union Asta. So I still think it's possible that Yuno could overcome and kill Asta. Yeah, I think that Asta's going to die temporarily, guys, or Triple Lord. I do think he's going to die, and it's going to be a symbolism and duality with what the undying bodies of the Dark Triad is going to do, but it's going to be similar but different, so. Oh, my browser just crashed. From Yuno Booty Asta Scrambler, $2 super chat. Thanks, man, appreciate that. I love the name. Ghosh has such a weak ability. I mean, Mayor Brigade has entered the chat and is disagreeing with you on that. But why would Yuno kill Asta? LOL. I mean, you're looking at it from a very surface level when you have something like Lucius, who super manipulative and might have mind magic or brain magic and can manipulate Yuno into doing so. So that is a one-way right there. If Yuno gets negative emotions and is overpowered by them, he could kind of go to the dark side. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but I just think it's a possibility. Imagine Black Clover ends with a sad ending like Romeo and Juliet. I honestly hope not. If it's like the ending of Black Clover, but we get more stories in the Black Clover verse, I'd be fine. But if this is the end of Black Clover and we get no more stories in its universe, that'd be pretty sad. Do you think that Julius had a change of heart after he went to the Clover Kingdom? I don't think that's how it went down. Broku, are you still confident that Valkyries will take Asta when he dies and take him to Valhalla, or is that not a possible outcome? No, I think that's still very possible, and honestly, I guess I'll just say it. I think that while the Dark Triad and Lucius will die, and they'll get their undying bodies, they'll get way stronger, they'll become immortal. I still think that Asta will die to parallel that, but instead of, the dark way, he'll be taken by the Valkyrie, he'll go to Valhalla, and he'll train to become a Devil Slayer. So I think it's just going to mirror that he dies and he gets stronger, just like the Dark Triad and their undying bodies. Broku, do you read Malice and the rest of Faithful and the Fallen series and the follow-up trilogy? I have not read that series. I believe that's the guy who wrote... Well, I have one of his books, and I've only read the first couple chapters. It's like the one with the giant dragon on the cover, right? The tiny little guy. But no, besides that, I've not read anything else. Is it John Gwynn? Booty Asta Scrambler, 4.99 super chat. Thanks, man. I appreciate that a lot. How do you think the gods will be introduced, and what will be their role? So I think that, kind of like what I said, Asta's going to die. He's going to go to Valhalla. Well, he'll meet Odin, maybe some other gods, because Odin was in this saga. Like when Rill drew Twilight Valhalla, that is Odin's realm. That's where his warriors train. And he draws like Lord of Valhalla, which Odin is the Lord of Valhalla. He looks exactly like the archetypal depictions of Odin. He even has a head on his hip, which is Mimir. So Odin was literally in the Spade Saga, and if he exists as a concept for Rill to draw, then he'd have to exist as an actual former god or current god. So I think that is how we'll see at least some of the gods introduced. But also keep in mind that the Dryad is technically a deity as well. I bet Adramelech and Lucius gonna use the Heart of Trash Pharaoh, so Lucius can give something like a double magic, gravity and time, or maybe something like that. I said gave, when it's have. Not sure, but it's a possibility. I think definitely Lucius will probably have gravity. He'll have time and gravity. He'll be broken. Yami's gonna be the next Wizard King. I think the next Wizard King will be or Asta. What are my favorite Black Clover characters? So that's what you've been going through a lot, Jewel. Or is it Yule? So number 1 is Asta. Number 2 is Yami. Number 3 is... I used to be Noel, but I have to say Number 4 is Noel. And number 5 is probably Zenon. Though it changes a lot because, every chapter, some characters get more of a highlight and some get shadowed, so... Like I said, Noel used to be my number 2, and then she became my number 3, now she's my number 4, so it changes. Wait, the Dryad isn't a plant magic spirit? I mean, it could be technically a plant magic spirit, but it still is. It's also called a deity, which is a god, so... Could be both. I mean, the 4 spirits are also stated to have divine power, so... They might be some sort of gods or deities or demigods as well. Meltdown 22. I think Lucius is going to have mind, body, or soul magic. Do you think we'll see Seal Moon magic in action? I think we will. I really hope Asta will end up in the underworld and Noel will pull him out of the underworld with the binding ritual with using his 5-leaf clover grimoire. I have something similar, but I don't necessarily think it's going to go... I think Asta will go to the underworld, but don't know if it'll be like that. Do I still think that Lucifero is or was the strongest in the Black Clover verse? Yeah, I mean, I think he definitely is. If he wasn't the strongest, then I don't think that Lucius would needed to have done this huge elaborate plan manipulating the entirety of a timelines to try and get his heart. And when he did it, it was against a partially manifested Lucifero. So yeah, I think he definitely is the strongest in the verse when he's at his full power. Charles Christian, other continents or realms possibly being shown or talked about. Maybe, I think maybe we could see the Land of the Sun, Yami's homeworld, or homeland, this arc. But nothing else. No other countries or continents. At least, if it's another country, it's like a mini country like the Witch's Forest. It's in the Magic region. But I just don't know if there's enough time. Unless if this is a 300-plus chapter saga, final part, then no, I don't see that. Maybe if we get a spin-off or a sequel. I mean, yeah, they did foreshadow Drip Lord because the north of the map, the Spade King goes above. It doesn't end there, which means there's more land past their border. But all right, thanks for coming in, Jewel. Appreciate it. So no diamond. No, I mean, okay. I thought you meant like no new kingdoms. I think we will get like Diamond Kingdom stuff that'll happen. I definitely think Ladros and Mars will return. A lot of people copied your theory. Um, I mean, I think that people can come to the same ideas, exposure to degrees. So I'm never gonna say if somebody has the same theory that they copied me. Now I know for a fact one person did because there was an image in my video that I actually had to Photoshop and make to put in that video, and then that image was used in their theory, which means they definitely had to have seen mine to get it. But besides that, I'm never gonna say that somebody stole their theory from me. How do you think the writing of this arc is now that we know about evil Julius? I think it's pretty good, but I definitely would need to see I need to reread the chapter, or reread the entire saga, and then I'm also going to be reading all of Black Clover. So that's what I'm saying. Thanks. Yeah, this final saga could be 300 plus chapters. It could be. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it is the longest part, especially since Tabata is taking 3 months to plan it out. I just am not going to get my hopes up for that long though. Like, I'm just going to assume that it's like 100 to 150 chapters and then be excited if it's longer. So don't get, upset from it not being as long as it really needs to be with how much is left to explore. King Somali will the Diamond Kingdom stay fodder, or do you think they have a hidden strong? I think they definitely, I think Mars and Ladros, whenever we see them next, will be strong. And then also, that hidden Diamond General Captain, I think that he probably has the Earth Spirit, so he'll probably be strong as well. Lex, do you think that Asta is too strong for the story with True Devil Union? No, I do not think so. You have to remember that his True Devil Union only defeated a half-manifested Lucifero, and Devil Power works exponentially in Black Clover. So, while, yes, Lucifer only had half of his power, he had way less than half of his stats. So you could have other Supreme Devils be even stronger than Lucifero if they're at their full power. Blackie-chan, YouTube's doing you dirty. You haven't received any notifications from me because I'm uploaded in several weeks, man. But I mean, I also was having that issue before I stopped uploading as much. I was not getting nearly as many notifications because I have a way to test it. Because I had multiple channels with notifications set up and had to predict if a video was going to perform bad. Because I think I had 7 or 8 channels notifications on, and if there was times where I would post a video and only 2 or 3 of them would actually get the notifications. I'm like, okay, well this video's going to do shit because then YouTube did not get the notifications sent out, but yeah, my killing Asta theory. I think that, like I said, Asta might be killed by and then would go into despair, get the 5-leaf clover, and then that grimoire would go to somebody else. I mean, I don't know necessarily if Lucius would need it, but maybe that'd be a Dromalix. Yeah, that would be meaningful. If he killed or if killed Asta, and that would parallel Zenon. That'd be nuts. But yeah, there's probably a bunch of new people here, but from when I first said it, but I will be doing another stream this weekend. I guess today's a Monday for me because I start working my day job on Sundays, so that means this Friday, I think. So in 5 days I'll have another stream, and then I'm hoping for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be my theory upload. So I'll have an upload this week and another stream on Friday. How powerful do you think Adramelech will be compared to 50% Lucifero and Devil Heart Zenon? I think that Adramelech will be weaker than 50% Lucifero, or else he or she would have just stolen the heart, and probably at roughly the same level as Devil Heart Zenon, but probably will get stronger because Dromik will probably take half of Lucifero's heart. Adriel Blake, $5 super chat. Appreciate that, man. Do you think Seal was here to teach Yuno of star magic purpose? I think it was meant to link realms to reunite the old races of the last invasion. That'd be really cool. I would really like that. That'd be actually a really cool explanation for how the elves got to, let's call it Midgard. Let's call Black Clover's world Midgard. That's how the elves and dwarves got there, because the Spade King had star magic and used that to connect the realms. That'd be really cool. Somebody hooked Broku up. We need more content. Sponsor the homie. I mean, you guys are going to be getting more. It's just I've been super busy, like, especially the past month, because I'm packing shit up because I'm moving. But it's like, it's not like I haven't been working on shit. It's just like everything I've been working on are super, super long. Like, my Asta versus Yuno video is probably going to be a 30-plus minute discussion video. Like, my Asta Devil Union power scale video is probably going to be like 30 to 40 minutes. Pain versus the Black Bulls is a 40-minute recording. So it's just like all the stuff I've been working on is super long. What's the worst theory of Black Clover you ever heard? I don't know. I honestly think that this community is really good at making theories. Like, I know one of the ones that gets clowned on a lot is Sammy's vampire theory, but I didn't even think it was that bad, honestly. So yeah, I wouldn't even consider that a bad theory. I just don't know what would be a bad theory. Like, I know there's some, I just can't think of them because they're so forgettable. So maybe you guys can comment down bad theories that you've heard, and I'll see which one of those are the bad theories. Perception magic? That would definitely be a possibility. That makes sense with all the transformation stuff. Moving as hell, hope it goes smooth. Yeah, thanks, man, appreciate it. It's just that I also have a lot of stuff I have to get rid of, too, so... Like, stuff that I don't ever use, so it's, like, good. Like, it's gonna be nice, because I'm just gonna have so much less shit laying around. Drip Lord, when I make my Asta power scale, are you actually going to put a scale in, like, terms of attack potency or destructive capacity and speed, or just inverse scaling? It's going to be actually mainly attack potency, DC, and speed. But there will be, of course, some inverse scaling, because it's like if we can get certain calculation from a character and that person scales above it, then you can also give them that stats as well. Do I think the 2 Spade Royals who turn to demons will come up in the story again? Actually, I do think so. I think it might have to do with Asta and Yuno's destiny as well. Yeah, Black Letter, I definitely know that theory. I'll post you a picture on Twitter about Luck and their connection being family. That's actually a decent theory, honestly. I've actually even made a video on it, but... Asta RBX, is this real or a theory? Read chapter 331, Asta RBX. Did Julius plan on losing against Postry? I would say definitely. Or at least, that was Lucius's plan, and he subconsciously made Julius do that. My second favorite manga. It used to be My Hero Academia, but I honestly I haven't been liking it as... I mean, I'm still like 20 chapters behind, but in the chapters I was reading up to that point, I started liking it, not as much. It's still my third favorite, but my number 2 favorite is Toriko. Toriko is one of the most underrated manga of all time. It's like a manga that I read, and it was so good that it's like on my bucket list to read it one more time before I die, because it's just so good and so unique and original. Rob's 98, $5. I don't know what currency that is, but thanks, appreciate that a lot. Oh no, the message is retracted. Looking forward to theory vids in the next 3 months. There's still not going to be a lot of uploads in like the next 3 months. Like, maybe... Because I want to be streaming once a week, and that'll definitely be way more realistic once I have moved. But it's just harder to stream with everything, like so much. And my new place is gonna be way more quiet. So The whole realm debate seems to be coming out of nowhere, aside from the underworld and maybe afterlife. There seemed to be no other realm, at least there's no indication of it in the story. I think that you're not wrong, but you're also like if there is no other realm, like how did Rill know how to draw Valhalla and Odin? Would I say is my worst theory? I would honestly probably say that it is maybe I don't know. I know that I have some that I look back on, I'm like, don't really like them. I just can't think of what it is. Because again, they're so forgettable that I just don't even know. Daily facts, Julius no diffs Asta. That actually is not supported. There's nothing to say that Julius could actually fight true Devil Union Asta. All we've seen Lucius do, and Lucius should scale above Julius, and all he did was just go against Damnatio. Damnatio, who couldn't even regulate the magic that well of an ancient demon that Marielena could kill, and Asta could easily kill as a regular DU. Blackie-chan, one of my favorite YouTubers, appreciate your grind. When I get a new job, you're going to be the first person to give money. Hey man, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate that if you do. Did you read Kaiju number 8 in Sakamoto Days? Those are series I'm going to get caught up on. I loved... Kaiju number 8 is definitely probably going to be one of my favorite manga of all time. I'm just pretty behind on it, and even more behind on Sakamoto. I think I only read the first 15 chapters of Sakamoto. Backstory and Grimoires, Drip Lord, I think we're going to get that in this saga. Do you think that perhaps Lucius has Devil Union with Astaroth, BC? Yeah, I think that we will see Devil Union Lucius. But I don't think it's going to be a same type of Devil Union. You'll see when you see my theory this week what I mean by that. Yeah, I appreciate you coming to the stream, Recvio. Can we see Lucius using Astaroth Devil Union? How powerful do you reckon it'll be? I also think it'll be above True Devil Union Asta when we see it, because of course this is Black Clover. By the time they fight, Asta's going to be way stronger. Like, you guys are going to be blown away how much stronger Asta and Yuno have gotten in my next two like power scaling videos. Like, it is nuts. Like, in my you'll see. Like, I don't really want to say because it's just so insane. Yeah, Adriel, he says the underworld counts as another realm. I think that guy, I can't remember your name, but I think he was talking about another realm besides the physical world and the underworld, which, yes, there is no, like, straight up saying that there is. But I think there will be, though. Broku, where exactly do you think the main current cast scales? I don't want to say too much, because that will spoil the Devil Union scaling video. But I'll just say stronger than you thought, for sure. Well, most likely. How does a fight against time and anti-magic play out? We'll sort of like to see. I don't think it's going to be just anti-magic either. It'll probably be Asta and and Noel, with maybe Devil Yami and a quadruple union Noct and Vanessa's new fate spell and the Witch Queen and stuff like that. I agree with you, Lee. I think that might be what happened. How will Asta nullify time? It depends on what Astaroth and Lucius can actually do, because there's a difference between time and time magic. If he can manipulate time itself, like how Dante can manipulate space with gravity, then Asta probably couldn't counter it unless if his AP matched it. But if it was actual time magic, then he should be able to counter it. Yeah, Asta, I don't know if you know it, but it essentially implied that Yami has a devil heart right now. You must be pretty behind on the manga. Yeah, Patri versus Lucius. With Raya, that'd be cool. Who would win in a brawling type fight between Asta and Deku? I would definitely say Asta. No, Julius was rewinding time in the Spade Kingdom. Yes, I know he was rewinding time, but we don't know if that is within the time spell. We need to know more of how the time magic works. Like, Asta should be... Like, if Julius threw those time balls at Asta, he should be able to destroy that. Like, if those balls were hurling towards him, he should be able to slice it up with anti-magic. But we don't know how exactly it's going to work. If Yuno dies, Asta will get like a go on Super Saiyan 2 moment. Cell Saga reference. When he rages Asta off, perfect his unit even further and rip into Lucius so badly. That would be crazy. I think that if anybody's gonna die, it'll be Yuno. I mean Asta, not Yuno, and he'll come back. Did Julius top the time of the Clover Kingdom? Against Patri. Why are you spamming, my dude? I'm gonna have to put you in timeout if you do that again. If you're gonna spam, you can ask your question multiple times. Just don't do it so quickly. Like if you ask your question and it's missed, just ask again in a couple of minutes. Or if you really, really want to ask, just do a super chat. Like I'm trying to get to everything, but there's just so many people commenting. Dripplord, Yuno did not learn true magic. If you're talking about what I was talking about earlier, I think what I was saying is that Yuno has the potential to get way stronger because he has not yet learned true magic. If you compared that, true magic, and then also an ultimate magic Yuno, he can still get way stronger. Yeah, that was talked about, Sly, about Lucius having soul magic. It's definitely one of the, like, up there for, like, terms of theories. What do you think is the outcome of this Dark Triad arc, bro? The outcome is the... the Clover won the battle, but lost the war. Time magic is the strongest. It's debatable. In theory, like, gravity warps time and holds together space-time. So, I mean, gravity could be above, but we never... That's what I was hoping we'd see Lucifero manipulate time with gravity, but he only did that with space. Speedy Gonzalez. Lucifugis is just another cliff-off devil who supports them. He's probably the fourth devil. He's probably the one right below them, or right above them in the tree of cliff-off. We don't know that for sure, but we just know he's a cliff-off devil. Yeah, gravity can bend time, Trip Lord. Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is I think that we will get dwarves, and they will help go against Lucius. If Lucius was stronger than 50% Lucifero, then why did he make Asta kill Lucifero? Yeah, I don't think that Lucius is stronger than 50% Lucifero. But I think he will be, is what I'm... If that's confused you from what I've said. Thought on people calling the plot twist predictable. I talked about that a bit earlier. It's definitely a BS. Because it went from people talking about how it was a stupid theory that made no sense to now it's too predictable. Like, you can't do that without being inconsistent with your thoughts, so... How will the Clover Kingdom react, and will there be destruction? I think that destruction will come. Oh, you know, that'd be epic, actually. Instead of, like, Lucius and Andromache just leaving, like, imagine an entire, like, series of chapters of people trying to stop them from leaving. including like the Clover coming back, and like, you see, like, you don't just, it's not just Asta and Yami hearing that Julius was like the Time Devil and the fourth Zogratis, but like they see Lucius, who looks like Julius, just going ham, just like murking innocent civilians with time magic or whatever. That would be so cool to see the reactions to that. Isn't it strange that Zagred's heart needed to be destroyed in order to kill him, yet Lucifero was deemed dead with his heart intact to some degree? No, that actually isn't strange, because Lucifero was never killed. He was just defeated. Asta missed his heart. Zagred needed to be, like, he maybe could have been defeated, but in order to kill a devil, you need to destroy the heart. So that it's not weird, it's just, that was the entire plan, was that Asta would defeat Lucifero, but he would not kill him. Alan is Julius, I'm calling it, which is Asta's father. Ooh, that's actually pretty spicy, Chosen. That's really spicy. Like, Alan dies from a devil. Lucius takes his soul out, puts it into his body to morph and make the concept of Julius. Ooh. That'd be pretty spicy. I don't know if I buy it though, but that's definitely spicy. I like it. Versus Marilena, I have to put if they start at full power. Because you have to remember that Marilena takes time for her Hellfire Incarnate to get stronger. Was actually nerfed in the fight against Lucifero because he did not have his full Saint power. So it'd be essentially they're pretty equal in fighting together. Would be stronger in the beginning, and Marilena would be weaker. So I think would actually pull it off. I think Lucius will go after Beelzebub and have control over the power of the three main devils. I honestly would not be surprised. He will have gravity, he'll have time, and I think Beelzebub is next for sure. That is talked about in my theory. So Yami is the strongest captain currently, right? Excuse me. Yeah, he's definitely the strongest. Most definitely. Even if you consider like William's sword is doubling his power, he still is the strongest captain. Do I think that time can overwrite fate? Yeah. If multiple people with gravity can override fate, then I think multiple people, or not multiple, but Lucius with time could override fate. Was using Saint stage against Lucifero, bruh. What do you mean? What I'm meaning, what I've said, is that was not at his full power. When you see him use his Saint power against Zenon, it's bigger. When you see him use it against Lucifero, it's not really there. Let's see if I can bring up the chapters and try and show you, or at least refer you to the chapters I'm talking about. So I think 310 is when we see Saint Yeah, so Saint the wings grow bigger on Zephyr, the ring is bigger. the mana that surrounds it is bigger, like the globs of mana, and it's like glowing. And I believe that is not the case, unless if I am super mistaken. Let's pull up. So look at 310 for the look at Saint stage, or Saint, And then, let's see, when he uses Zephyr, yeah. So in 321, when he uses Zephyr against Lucifero, the ring is not as big, the wings are not as big. So yeah, he's definitely not at full power there. He's still Saint stage because Lucifero considered him a threat, but he is not at his full power. Lucifero was unaffected by Yuno's magic. Yeah, because it was just a pure power difference. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Saint or Arcane if you're weak. Like, remember, Asta in the beginning of the series and Chapter 1 is Arcane. That does not mean that his sword swipe is going to do anything against Lucifero just because he's Arcane, because of the power difference. So it's the same here. Yuno's Saint stage, but its power is not enough to go against it. What would be the purpose of controlling time, gravity, and space? It'd be the purpose of being the ruler of everything with not having to share your power. Because right now there's 3 devils. There's 1 for each. They probably have to battle for power. That probably creates a balance. Because one cannot go over the other. Because there's 3 devils, there's 3 rulers. If there's one that has it, it probably breaks the balance there. I do think that Beelzebub will interact with Javier. Would Saint Stage Zephyr be stronger than Euros, or does Saint Stage just add devil damaging attribute to their magic? I would say that, yeah, Saint Stage would be stronger than Eurus. They're just weapons that do enhance his power, but... What other manga do I recommend? Record of Ragnarok, Kaiju number 8, Fairy Tail, but I don't know, that's not new, but... Do I think that Julius and Lucius are 2 separate people or the same person? Probably both. Like, I think they're 2 different personalities or souls in the same body. These are the best Black Clover chapter ever. I'd have to agree. This is the best Black Clover chapter ever. When you read Damnatio marching up to Julius, it is the most tension I've ever felt from reading a comic ever. Like, going into it, like, wait, is this Damnatio the bad guy? Or is it Julius? And yeah, it's just the most, like my heart was beating reading it. And so yeah, like it's definitely the best Black Clover chapter ever, in my opinion. Where is Astaroth from Calvin? That'll be talked about in my video this week. Base Asta versus Yami. Base Asta would lose to Yami. Base Asta, before Yami got amped, like, hey, this Yami that fought 80% Dante would lose to Base Asta, though. Julius is the only one who can beat Lucius. You think Lucius will try to create a whole actual new world if he acquires space-time and gravity? Probably. Any theory on who defeated devils during their last invasion of the continent? Yeah, that's actually going to be discussed in my huge video project. That's going to be like a 45 to an hour and a half, 45 minute to an hour and a half long theory. So yeah, that'll be discussed in detail there. The best chapters were Sekra, Lumiere, and Zagred. Those were great too. I just think this one's better. I don't even think it will end up still being the best ever, but... Cap, base Asta right now is stronger than Yami at this point. No, he's not. And he is not stronger. How many chapters are left to be seen? I've talked about this. I think it's at least going to be 100 chapters. Hopefully, I think that the likelihood is 100 to 150. Noel claps Yuno with unlimited spear dive. That's funny, Bravo, because actually base Yuno claps Noel. Base Yuno claps Noel. He has better feats than Noel in base than Noel does. The only thing that Noel has is attack potency, but still, you could argue that Yuno's is better. So, Wind Tempest, hey, become a writer. Do you ever lose inspiration? If you do, what brings you back to writing and publishing it? No, actually, I never lose inspiration. It's just the hardest thing for me for writing is time. So what I always do is I just give myself a quota of at least like bare minimum. I have to write 500 words a day, but I always shoot for 1,000, just to get for one, get the work done. For two, the more you write, the better you get at it. If you're struggling for inspiration, what you need to do is you need to read or watch or play games with stories in it and get inspiration from that. You also need to read history, because there's a lot of great stories in history. You also, if you're a person that is just kind of, you don't go out much, then, or you don't hang out with your friend much, try and hang out with your friends or go out with friends, because you can make cool characters or base events from stuff that's happened in your life and your story, or even themes too. So if you need inspiration, you need to seek inspiration. Sosuke Aizen, I would love it. I just wish it was more original. I still think this actually is pretty original, though. What do you think happened to Marileona? We saw was her becoming one with Mana and her arm attached to her body. I think she'll be fine. I think she might be wounded, but I think she'll be fine. It's very possible that Black Clover gets a sequel, because Black Clover's in a really weird spot to where the manga's going on a 3-month break. The anime's been done for over a year. We're not getting the movie till next year, but we could get the manga coming back in 3 months. We get really, really good chapters. Sales, they could even just stay the same, and Black Clover's doing fine. It's making enough money to make Shueisha money. But then the anime returns, and it animates some of the best moments in Black Clover, boosts the sales, boosts the popularity. The movie comes out. Actually, the movie would come out first, and so flip that. Movie comes out, makes Black Clover more popular. Anime comes back, animates some of the best scenes in the manga, becomes even more popular. By the time Tawada's done, they want him to do more. So you might have to do something like that where it's a sequel. Julius is good. Lucius is not. X-Ra. I think the son of Lucius is his contract with Astaroth. You could be right, but I also have another theory with Astaroth, or with Lucius and Astaroth. So, alright, good night, Cairo. Yeah, guys, my voice is actually getting pretty hoarse. I think I've been on the stream for almost 2 hours now. So, I'm not going to be streaming too much longer. So if you have any questions or things you want to say, then get to saying them. Is it Jur or Your Cestic? Yeah, I'm going to do a theory this week. So stay tuned. Any chance that relics come into play like how there was for Lucifugis? I definitely think that it will come into play. How did Astaroth fully leave the underworld and manifest 20 years ago without a cliff off? Lord Hendrickson. I actually will be talking about that in my theory video this week. If you actually go back and reread the saga, you could probably find a few ways to figure that out. So yeah, it's definitely, there's answers for it. That'll be talked about. You're ignoring Noel's attack potency and speed. Devil Xenon hasn't shown speed feat and was casually blitzed by No, actually, so you have Vanica, who was nerfed by Charlotte and her anti-curse power. And Noel fought her and was like a mid-diff. Like, it wasn't a high difficulty, but it wasn't a low difficulty. Devil Xenon should be equal to a regular, or not Devil Xenon, 100% Xenon should be equal to a regular, non-nerfed Vanica. And then he gets Devil Xenon on top of that, which is way stronger. And damages him in base and blitzes him in base. So, in base has a greater feat than what Noel did. So yeah, it's definitely crazy, and it probably will change when Asta provides more, or not Asta, Tabata provides more scaling for Noel, but as of right now, you can pretty easily argue that in his base form would defeat even Saint Noel. I know it sounds crazy. Someone argued that Black Clover is bad because it relies on other mythologies and demonology, but I think that's what makes it more interesting than other shows. What are your thoughts on this? I think that is an absolute joke, because pretty much any single series, especially fantasy, is modeled off mythology and demonology or religions. Like, for example, Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the most popular, it's like a phenomena, and it's based off of mythology. Like, Sukuna is an actual character in Japanese mythology. Dragon Ball heavily takes from mythology and religion. Any modern fantasy story is taking inspiration from other religions and stuff like that. Like, the fantasy genre is spawned from Norse mythology. Like, the typical fantasy, like what Tolkien did, he basically took everything from Norse mythology and even Christianity and made, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Middle Earth, that's essentially what Midgard means in Old Norse. So it's like, to say that Black Clover is bad because it takes from mythologies and religions and demonology is just, that means you'd have to have a lot of things that you don't like in this world. How many characters can currently beat Adramalik? I'd say Asta can, maybe and maybe Yami, but Space Mage. Xenon versus Megicula, who wins? I honestly think that if it's Devil Xenon, that Devil Xenon claps Megicula. At least Tolkien literally invented new languages, while Tabata has to copy-paste demonology. Okay. What? I don't even get how, that's a thing, man. At least Tolkien literally invented new languages, while Tabata has to copy-paste demonology. Tabata is not copy-pasting demonology, though. He's literally changing it. He's taking ideas from what demonology is and making it his own. And he's combining other mythologies into it as well, into his own world. So would Megicula just be a high-ranking devil like Zagrid? So this is the other confusion, which... okay, let me pull up the translation. This was really confusing in the fan translations, but in the actual official translations, what it means here when Damnatio says this. Let me read the official. So, I want to start from here. These records are from over 20 years ago. At that time, among the supreme devils matched to the Cliff-Off, there was no devil known as Megicula. There are the three devils, Lucifero, Beelzebub, blah, 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 Astaroth. Then he says, it's likely that Megicula is Astaroth's successor. For some reason, Astaroth vanished from the underworld. So what this just means is that Megicula was not originally a supreme devil. Megicula was originally a high-ranking devil, then Astaroth left and she usurped him and became a supreme level devil, a Cliff-Off devil. So she still is a supreme rank, she just is not originally one. But, yeah. Lord Hendrickson. I kind of talked about this earlier, but I don't really want to go over it again, so it'll be mentioned in my theory video this week, or you can go back and replay the unlisted stream and find it. But I'm about to end my stream, guys, now. My throat is definitely killing me, and I still have to record more shit, so... And it is now almost 5 o'clock, and I still need to eat and work out again, and write. So yeah, I'm about to end the stream, but stay tuned for another stream this week. I'll be doing a tier list, and it'll probably be pretty long, because there's like over like 100 or whatever characters on it that I need to put on the tier list, so... That'll be this Friday. I don't know what time, but I'll leave a time, probably on my community tab. And then I'll probably have a theory video coming out Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So you'll hear from me. You'll hear more from me this week, and I'll hear more from you. So excited for that. Thanks for all the support, guys. Thanks for all the support through this crazy time of, this theory that just came true. But I appreciate you guys coming in and filling up the stream and talking to me for 2 hours. And thanks for all the super chats, guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, you'll hear from me soon, and I'll hear from you guys in my next stream. See ya.